Hello everyone, my name is Raven. Welcome to Raven675 for Gaming, and welcome back to another Left 4 Dead 2 tutorial. In this tutorial, as I said in the last one, we are going to cover placing our objects in our world, and then we're going to build a another area and a door, so we can obviously leave our area. Okay, so what do we need to do in order to actually accomplish this? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is also I did make this room much smaller, as you can see. It did take me long. Just did some resizing and then redid the walls really quickly. For those of you who are wondering, the walls are okay. We don't want that. Let me select the tool here. The walls are where's that? There we go. They are 256 tall, and I redid the floor so the floor is only 16, just like the roof. So everything's consistent. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And as you can see, they're actually a little tall, but that's fine. I mean, a little tall is fine, but how tall they were before was just absurd. Okay, so let's go back to our entity tool, which is obviously shifty, as you just saw. And then we'll just type in prop. And we need, let's see, hang on, let's type in static. Oh, there we go, prop static. Okay, and then we just need to place this somewhere in the game world. I'm just going to click, right here. And we're going to double click to open this in the 3D viewport. And then what we need to do is we need to select a world model. Now, this might be a little messed up for you. Just resize it. I don't know why it does that. I have no idea why it does that. And in the filter here, just type table. And somewhere in here. Oh, there we go. There's the table. Boom. The it_mkt_table2.mdl. And then just hit apply. And as you can see, it automatically placed it fairly accurately. I mean, it needs some rotation and, some other stuff. But you know what? This is fine. We can work with this. Okay. So first things first. Where do we want to put it? Well, I'm just going to put it back here. Behind the two guys right here. And the next thing what we're going to do about this is, let's zoom in right here. I'm going to actually set the snap grid to 1 because I want this to perfectly line up. I want this to perfectly line up. I want it to be slightly away from the wall. And I'm just going to drag it down here. I'll have to fix it, but... Okay. And now I'm just going to control C and then V. And as you can see, it just kind of threw it wherever it felt like. Which is, totally not cool. And it's kind of inside of itself there. And you know what? Slightly off. Okay. So now that we have two tables, we can actually put stuff on the tables. So what do we want to put on the tables? Well, well, we could put ammo. So I'm just going to type in ammo, weapon ammo spawn. And I'm just going to, it's not going to let me click it. Okay. Literally not going to let me click it. Okay. And then I'm going to go in here, properties, world model. And I'm going to type in ammo. And then there's a whole bunch of different stuff. We can have this. There's this. I'm just going to use the good old-fashioned ammo stack. And I'm going to hit apply. And I'm going to hit cancel just because we've already done that. And I'm just going to try to line this up as best I can so that it's, not in the table, but, on the table. Now, if we want to rotate something, just select any object in the game. And you'll notice that up until now, we've just been working with brushes, but they all have this point here with 8 little squares on it. And this lets us resize it. And, in the case of this model, it just moves it. But we can select it once, and this lets us rotate it. We can click it one more time, and that lets us skew it. And that is just, we don't need that tool. We don't need it for this. So we're just going to rotate it. Rotate it however you want. It really doesn't matter. And we can do this, for everything. And I'm just going to double click this. And you can see that pitch, yaw, and roll, the Y, Z, and X, it changed. So, like, for example, I could set this to 90. And then hit apply, and it changes the rotation. We're going to put that back to 122. Because I kind of liked it. And you can see we have a nice little angle thing up here. Okay. So now that we have that, what do we need? Well, obviously, of course, we need some kind of weapon. So we'll type in weapon. And we have the auto shotgun spawn, we have the first aid kit, gas can, the grenade launcher. We can do a normal item spawn, a melee weapon spawn. You know, let's put in a melee weapon spawn. Just hit enter. And this puts in an axe. And I have no idea where it put it. Ah, of course it did. Put it way up there. Okay. So we actually need this to, fall flat. So I'm gonna rotate it about like that. Now I want it to fall flat. So just gonna rotate it there, and I'm gonna just double click it. And this is where I'm gonna change this manually because I really cannot stand the inaccuracy of it. Put 0.5. I'll hit apply. And as you can see, nothing truly changed. And then I'm just going to drag this down so that it's level on the desk. And then I'm just going to rotate it slightly. Give it a nice look there. And I'm going to select in the middle here. And I'm just going to put it slightly off. And I'm going to spawn another one. So it's, they're kind of close to each other. And got to move this up so it's actually on the table. Okay. So now we have an axe. So what do we want now? I mean, we can pretty much pick anything. And I'll let you guys, you guys can put whatever you want. I'm going to put the pistol spawn right here. And it's pretty much the same issue as before. Weapons really, really high up. Needs to be brought way down. And I'm just going to double click this. I'm going to split 0.5, 90, and 0. Put 90 there. There we go. Okay. And I could fix the rotation myself. And I'll put the pistol down. Right down here. Alright, so on the other table, also I just realized that the tables are not even with each other. So I'm just going to push that back a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to use the arrow. You can use the arrow keys as well. Like, you can use WSAD to move, forward, back, left, and right, and you can use the arrow keys to move. I probably should have been a little bit more specific about that in the last tutorial series, but it's fine. It's fine. Anyone who's played a game at this point knows the standard controls for on a computer. And I'm going to put the shotgun. I guess the chrome one. Nah, I'll put the SMG silenced in. I'll just put 4. Actually, you know what? I'll just put 1, and I'll do the weapon stuff myself. You know what? I'm going to leave that out. Yeah, I'm going to do the weapon stuff later, because otherwise this tutorial is just going to go on forever. So I'm going to let you guys populate it yourselves. One thing I am going to put in, though, is weapon and then the first aid kit. I am going to put the first aid kit in. And we're just going to drag this up so that it's level like that. And then we have a first aid kit. And then it's also facing the wrong way. So we're just going to select that. And we're just, whoops. Do our best to line it up here. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it'd probably be better if it's not perfect. And we're just going to try to, get it so it's just kind of level. Okay, there we go. So now we have 4. And you can put pills. I'm going to put some other stuff at the end of this tutorial before we start the next one. But we're about halfway through, and all we've really done is place 2 tables. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we need a door. So now the question is, well, where do we place a door? How do we place a door? Well, one thing we could do is we could use the subtract tool. Or the carve tool, I suppose, rather. And how we're going to do that is we are going to first select the wall, and then select the brush tool. Well, actually deselect the wall, and then the brush tool. And then just pick wherever it is you happen to be. Don't forget you need to set the grid back to 16. And as you can see right here, I have a massive, massive brush, which is a little too big. So the first things first, we don't want to carve out the floor. And we don't really want it to be the whole thing, because as you can see, the player is quite tall. So this will be the door. And we're going to hit enter. And as you can see, it actually placed it, which is what I wanted. And then we're going to select the brush here. If I can select this brush. tools, and carve. And then we're going to delete it. And now, as you can see, we have a lovely doorway. Such a beautiful doorway. And we can widen this, you know, if we need to, we can place another one. One option to do is to just, you know, resize the mesh, because as you can see right now, if we select this, this is still technically one brush. We've just cut a hole in it, which is fine. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to select the floor, then deselect it, and then we are going to quickly build an outer area. And I'm actually going to make this, let's see here, because this is pretty, I want it to be a hallway. You know, I don't really want it to be very long, so 192 seems fine. And I'm just going to, actually, you know what, I'm going to select this, and I'm going to drag this across just like this, so it's all the way over here. And then I'm going to, that's 144, so what, no, 192, there we go. I dragged it too far, but that's fine. All can be fixed. And I'm going to drag this all the way back over here. And then I'm going to select 192. Okay, now I'm just going to quickly fix all of these. So I'm going to drag this up. I'm going to select this. And I'm going to fix this. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to select this, the wall piece, and I'm going to go and just quickly zip through here and just do the walls really, really fast. By the way, these walls are only temporary because we are going to expand this level. So some of these walls are, of course, going to disappear. And one thing that I want to make sure that you all are very, very, very aware about is you do not want to have any of your BSPs leaking. So you want to make sure that they actually cover each other. But for example, you know, you don't want any holes. Like you don't want this. However, this is perfectly valid. It just has to be closed. I just dragged that out just because it might help. Now, remember before in the last video, I talked about optimizing brushes. So one thing we're going to do right now is we are going to drag all of this wall piece here. We're going to drag it so that it actually covers everything. And the reason for this is, as I said before, this optimizes it. So rather than having a whole bunch of brushes, we just have one big one. So at some point, you know, you want to go through all your levels and change this. Now, modern machines, you know, you could probably brute force this. This is not really so much an issue. But it's just good practice. Just because, you know, modern machines can brute force stuff doesn't mean you should, you know, foolishly, you know, do stuff. Now, one thing to note, there's this little bit right here, which is gray. We don't really want that. We want it to match. How do we get it to match? We want to use the texture tool. So we toggle the texture tool, and then we hit browse, and we select generic, and then we just right click. Now, one thing we can do is we can select a whole bunch of different faces here, and then we can just change it all to one texture if we wanted to. And we're going to look at that later. And also we could change the light map scale, the texture scale, displacement, all stuff we're going to cover later. But as you can see, now we have a perfectly good floor. So now what we want to do is we want to type in door, prop door rotating. And then we just want to place it kind of right here. We're probably going to, we're going to have to lower the scale. I set it to 4. And now we have our door. And I have no idea where the door is. Want to get our selection tool here, and I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna drag this. Oops, I'll do that. There we go. Sorry, it's there we go. I'm gonna place it down here, and I'm just gonna double click it in the world view, and I'm gonna type door. Now there's a lot of different doors, a whole host of different doors, but you know which door we want. We want this door right here. That's the static one. That one should work, yes. And then we're going to hit apply. And then as you can see, our door is obviously, of course, off, which means we want to drag it up. And our door is still kind of not so great there because, you know, we want to rotate it. So now we just want to select it and we want to rotate it. Try to get it to 90 as close as you can. If you have to, just open it up in here. In this case, just set it to 270 and apply. And then we want to put it in here. Now, the door doesn't really fit perfectly. As you can see, there's a considerable amount of gaps, but we can fix that. No problem. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to prop underscore, and we're going to select static. And you know what? I'm just gonna put this right down here, and then I'm gonna double click it. Hopefully I didn't place but one. Yeah, I didn't place one. And world model, browse, and we're still on door. Now what we're looking for right now is this right here. This is the door frame, and we want door frame 1, and we want to hit apply. And then we're going to set this to 270, which should set it properly, and it did. Thank you. And now we're just going to select this, and we're just going to put this in here. And now, as you can see, we still kind of have to fix this. You know, it's okay. It's not perfect. But as you can see, you know what? The door is not perfect. So let's go to a lower count here, and let's see if we can squeeze this door in better. I can't tell. Is that... it kind of has a hole in it there. Okay. And now the other thing, too, is we actually need to line this up. That would really help. Okay. So now we have our door and our door frame. We still have a hole, but we can fix that, no problem. So how do we fix that? Pretty simple. We go back and we select 16. And we fill this in just like so. And we just want to drag this up so that it's just the door. And, you know, when we do this, want to make sure that we take it up. So now if we replace this, you know, part of the door frame will be lost. So now is where one of those few instances where you just keep lowering the scale until you get it just right. And it's fine if a little bit of it's covered. Okay, boom. Perfect. And I'm just going to go forward a little bit. Oh, I didn't deselect it. There we go. Perfect. So now we have our door, and it should work. It should work. So let's go ahead and save it. I'm just going to save over tutorial 001, and then I'm just going to run this. And again, if you have HDR, it could, in theory, take a while, but it didn't. No, because there's nothing there. And there's no lights, by the way. So the only light that's going to be in here is the light from before. So map's unplayable. And as you can see, they all fell over.
First aid.
And we did not fix the environment map issue. We'll fix that in the next one. And of course, as you can see, now we have dual pistols. And we can go over here. We can select this. This didn't come off, but we can fix that in a later tutorial, like a polishing near the end. And we can walk around here. And there you go. Now, the AI won't follow us yet because we don't have nav meshes, and we'll eventually get that. Okay. So, that concludes this tutorial. And the next tutorial, we are going to build... First off, we are going to fix the environment issue, and we're going to place some other stuff that's necessary for other stuff we're going to do later. But we're going to do the rescue closets next. Okay? And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you have any issues, comments, or suggestions, you know, just go on ahead and put it in the YouTube video down there in the discussion area. And don't forget, if you want to support this channel, you can support me on Patreon. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.